Hello, everyone. My name is Kathy Bauer, and I am a practicing lawyer in Connecticut with my office in Southbury. The name of the law firm is Gager, Bauer, and Scalzo, and I have practiced law for about 32 years. I'm admitted to practice in 3 states, Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, as well as the United States Supreme Court, where I had the great honor to meet Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And also my 3 children were there to watch the swearing in at the time that I took my oath to practice before the highest court in the land. And that was quite an experience because at the time they were studying government in elementary school. So it was a great opportunity for them to meet with all 9 justices, as their mother and their father were both sworn in a very small group before the United States Supreme Court. So what I mean when I'm talking about all of that is that, like a license that you get when you learn to drive, at the end of the process of the permit and the taking the classes and the practice the driving, you take that license test and you hope it's a pass or fail, right? And you hope that you pass, and then you can drive. And it's the same type of privilege that we have as lawyers. We go to undergraduate school for 4 years. Then we go to law school for 3 years, and then we decide to take the bar exam in the location where we think we will practice law. Now, I started my career working in New York City, so I decided to take the New York State bar exam, and because I was living in New Jersey, I said, oh, I'll take a second one, and that was New Jersey. That was 3 full days of examination, morning till night, 3 consecutive days. And I passed both New York and New Jersey bar. And then 2 years later, I came to Connecticut and had to take the exam again. So those are arduous exams. It's a pass or fail. And you just work so hard, just like you probably do your entire career, or like you did to get that driver's license, so that you can be licensed to practice law. And then once we're licensed, we still have an ongoing obligation to continue our education through continuing legal requirements, legal education requirements. So every year, I take 12 more hours of legal education so that I can stay up and current on what the law is, because it's constantly changing and evolving, and new things happen, and judges reach new decisions, the legislature passes new laws. So there's always that ongoing need to stay up to date with what the law says. So first of all, it's a long process. It's a continuing process. If you don't like school, I wouldn't strongly suggest this is the right career for you. If you do like to learn, if you love critical thinking, reading, writing, taking those thoughts and articulating them through a formal argument, meeting with clients, meeting with business heads, this may very well be the job for you. But it's one you want to give some thought to. And I made my decision to become a lawyer, spending a lot of time with legal kind of entities in order to figure out if this was the right fit for me. So when I was in the summer of undergraduate, when I was in college, I worked for the county courthouse as an intern and had a chance to work right next to the lawyers that practiced there, doing some administrative work and title searches, which is a real estate thing that we do. And it gave me a chance to see, okay, this is what it's like to work as a lawyer. When I was a junior in college, I became the head of legal aid at my university. And that allowed me to sit down with students that probably have gotten into trouble and a lawyer that came in and volunteered his time. And we'd sit through their issues, and he would then advise what was going to happen, and decisions would be made. But I had an opportunity to sit through all of that and learn so much through that, that mentoring system. So if you're interested in law, because it's such a heavy commitment, talk to lawyers. See if you can get an internship at a law firm. Watch legal shows, even though they're not necessarily accurate. They'll give you some clue as to what your days could look like. They're much more sensational, by the way, on TV. But spend some time really giving the thought to it before you just say, hey, I'm gonna go do this. because it is a long road of education that you have ahead of you if you choose this career. Now, just because I practice in a traditional law firm setting doesn't mean that you can't do other things with a law degree. You could go into government. You could go into politics. A lot of our past presidents have been lawyers. You could work in not-for-profit. You can work in a law firm like I do, which is a more traditional view of what people think of when they think of lawyers. But there's a lot of other opportunities aside from the traditional law firm approach. It's also been a pretty good career for me as a female. The job, when I have to be dedicated to something like a trial, it is a 24/7 kind of job where you just dedicated all day long to that process. But when you don't have trial, there's a lot of flexibility to the job, which is nice because I like to go home early when I could to meet the school bus and find out how the day was. Then I could go back to work at night from home. When COVID hit, we found that that's happening even more. And I think that we'll see that long term, that there'll be greater flexibility, which I do think works better for a parent who wants to spend more time with their child, whether it be male or female. If we're flexible, if we can work from home, if we don't always have to be in the office for long, arduous hours, I think it gives us more opportunity to spend time at home and maybe go back to the quote unquote office through remote access after dinner or after the children are put to bed. But it is, generally speaking, if you're going to succeed in the legal field, it does require a lot of hard work. So you'd want to put that on your list to say, hey, I like to work hard, and that's a good thing. And I think it can also be a very gratifying career. You should do well financially. I think that's important to people. You have to pay those student loans after all. And I think it also offers up great opportunity to serve on boards. Now, I serve on several not-for-profit boards, and I think probably I was considered someone that would do a good job on a board because of my legal background, my critical thinking that goes along with it, the fact that we have to do research and be cautious about our approach to things sets you up pretty well to serve on a not-for-profit board. So things like environmental groups, educational, or just a community foundation or something else of that nature makes it a nice augmentation to what I do during the day, to have the ability to serve on those boards and have the service that I long to do anyway, which is a nice piece of my day. The college courses that you need in order to pursue law, they really don't matter. As long as you're doing a great job and working hard and getting your grades up so that you can get into a good law school. But I think there's a little tendency if you have developed good writing skills, good research skills, and good oral argument skills. So you might want to take some public speaking. You want to work on your writing. Oftentimes you'll find people that are history majors. One of my majors was history. Politics, English are good undergraduate course studies to set you up good for law school. But frankly, don't worry about it. If you started with biology, it's still something that you can do. You can go to law school with a biology undergraduate degree. And ultimately, it's a great career. It offers flexibility. It provides a good living. It causes you to think hard, think about the way that the changes that you can make, not only for a client, but you can work on changes that through common law, which is the way that judges make decisions, you can help to impact the way that laws are interpreted in your jurisdiction, which is kind of a cool thing. So it's a gratifying career. It's a fun career. It always keeps me on my toes, always keeps me thinking. And I hope that if you're interested, you do consider pursuing a career in law. So thank you.